I know I don't want to, a couple things is remember that there's a very small window in paying, okay? The payment thing is working, but very slow, but it's being run manually by the company. They deliberately slowed it down, as I said many times, because some people didn't pay every hour, they paid every second with the same card, and the company wanted to stop it before we got into a major boom, boom, boom. Ash did say on a recording that he will slowly ramp it up as time goes on so that we get more of a organic look to it than this explosion that happened the first time and part of the second time. But it's slowly going to get better and better and better. I'm going to emphasize again, people have said to me, well, Apple gets $1 million, millions a day, and so does Amazon. And so, yes, they do, but they started off as a company in a garage or an attic, okay? So they gradually got to that. Let's remember, those companies took 10, 15, 20 years, sometimes more, to become a unicorn company, and we started that way. It's a pretty big explosion. Another thing that I had brought up before is when we get through this phase of everybody getting the opportunity to purchase OConnect, it'll never quite be this way again. Why? Next product that comes out after your 30 days, or your 90 days, will be you can pay from your back office. Okay? Most cases, most of us. So that's not going to be a merchant thing like it is now. So that's a good thing. Anyway, so everything will be a little less hairy-carry. Red's there, but he's not there.
There you go.
Oh, okay. Yeah. Yeah, I heard a click, click. Anyway, there's that. And so don't throw a bunch of support in about that type of thing. The other thing I want to tell you, because the system's running at a slower pace deliberately, some of the notifications are also slow, which means you pay for OConnect. It says success. Let's assume it's success, okay? Now, you clear it, you go back in. Oh, I'm OConnect. Oh my God, I got to do it again. No. Wait 24 to 48 hours. As it scales up, this is going to go away, guys. Don't look at like every day. This is just the beginning. It's for our protection because some of us won't listen. But wait like 24, 48 hours, then if it's that, put a support ticket in. If you do it right away, they're going to get 1,000 million supports. It's not necessary. It's just not necessary. So be cool on that. What else? We know that there was a big event in Egypt. We saw who was involved. We saw who were invited. I don't know all the details, but I saw enough that I know, wow, that was huge. Okay, so if you watched it, there was 3 videos, day 1, day 2, day 3. It was powerful, very powerful. You didn't just have your run-of-the-mill people in that event. It was really, really good. And like I say, I do some marketing on my own. And when I looked up and researched who's who in the world as far as AI, as far as technical, as far as just in love with the future of technology and AI, those countries are popping up in the top of the list. No jokes. Yes, I wish it was the U.S. Yes, I wish it, but they're advancing. They're seeing where things are going. AI is here to stay. It's not going anywhere. In fact, this is going to be the year of AI. I've heard more about it this year than ever. It's like ONPASSIVE fell right in line like it was designed, which I'm sure some of it was. So it's a big deal. So we're in good hands. People say, well, why didn't we start here? Why don't we do this? Why didn't we do it this way? If we did it that way, we wouldn't be ONPASSIVE, okay? We don't do anything the way everybody else does. And I think part of the problem, a lot of us, and I'm going to say us, a lot of us judge this company by something we're used to. Well, this company does it. Why does ONPASSIVE? ONPASSIVE is not like any other company, okay? When a company comes out and they make a video platform, they're concentrating on what? A video platform. That's it. Absolutely, that's it. Do they have to worry about money going back and forth? No. It wasn't a partnership type of deal. And I mean partnership, we get paid and didn't do any of the work and didn't pay for anything. Crazy as crap. But I'm just saying, that's the difference when you start. We're a hybrid of something that's never been done. So not only are we a shock to the system, we're a shock to the world. Same with emails. I hear people, I send an email to Yahoo, and OMail sometimes shows up, sometimes listen. As the system, as the world gets used to OMail, one day we're going to laugh at it. We'll never even notice it again. It'll be over. It happened when all the new email platforms come out. If you do send an OMail, which I would as much as possible, and it winds up in your spam, don't just say go to send to inbox. Say this is not spam. There's a button there. Make sure you click that. And then now we'll start educating all the other platforms that not only we're here to stay. So that would be a good thing for all of us. I'm going to turn it over to Red and make sure everything's running okay, and I'll be back at the end.
Thanks very much, Marty. Hi, Chris. How you doing? Good to see you. Fresh back from an interesting holiday, I think will be the way to explain it. As you well know, if you've been following me, I was away on a 2-week cruise with my elderly parents, chaperoning them. First half was absolutely amazing, and then the second half has been the holiday from hell. It's been all over the news, and we got into a very bad storm in the Bay of Biscay. In fact, it's been reported from the Spanish maritime authorities that it was one of the worst storms in 27 years, with sustained 45-foot waves over at least a 30-minute period in the Bay of Biscay. So a lot of questions to be answered from the company we were with, and unfortunately a lot of injuries from a very elderly passengers that were on there. So I've been very busy since I've been back. A lot of film and news outlets have wanted a exclusive, so I've been doing that quite a lot. And if you are in the UK, you probably know it all, and I think we've been on Fox News as well for the States, and many other media outlets as well. Got a few bits and pieces to do tomorrow. Anyway, it's all about ONPASSIVE today. Thank you so much for all your text messages, emails and well wishes that you've sent to myself and Jane. It really does make us feel a massive part of a huge global family. It really, really does. So I thank you all for that. We're fine. My parents are fine. And obviously now, as far as the cruise is concerned, I'm sure behind the scenes something will be done. Anyway, let's move on. ONPASSIVE then, a week in ONPASSIVE, which is what I bring you up to date with. I'll do my very best. Obviously, been a little bit sidetracked, but I shall try my very hardest to bring you the bullet points of what has been going on. So we'll go back to last Wednesday, and once again we were very privileged to have our CEO on with us last Wednesday, which was November the 1st, I believe that was. He came on. He asked us a couple of questions about what we would really like if we could have a magic wand, and if you remember that one, we all gave various answers, which was exactly fantastic to see. Also, he came on and wanted to bring us up to date with where we were with the payment processor, obviously before it was kicked back on. He then brought us up to date with, he was hoping to have it turned on the next day, which was Thursday or Friday, and he also talked to us about what the options are going to be within that. He said that there's going to be more payment options involved with it as well, and he also said that the game plan is to get it up and running, making sure that it is running smoothly, and then obviously they'll look at the the withdrawals for cryptocurrency, which have always been in queue, and then once they're cleared, look at the payments into bank accounts which have been done, and then once all that's cleared, it'll become a much more bulk way of doing things and much more timely than the way that's been here at the moment. It's all under control, as Marty said, and it's all going to be scaled up as well from there. Also, he said that he is going to give us a small window as well in between the payment for to allow as many people as possible to purchase OConnect before they start releasing that great big pool of users that are in the ONPASSIVE pool at the moment from all the advertising that they've been doing over the last year or so. These will be distributed to active users of the accounts via OConnect, and as long as you have activated it within the time period, then you will be in line for this pool of people coming in. He also then mentioned about other products that are on track, namely ODomain, OVerify, and also how OMedia and the avatar is coming on along with the virtual background within OConnect. That brought us pretty much up to date on the Wednesday. In between all this, guys, we know that we've been having this conference over in Sharm el-Sheikh in Egypt. This is a big deal. I can't emphasize enough how much it is a big deal. We talked the week before that about GITEX and how that was so important because it was the largest startup and tech show in the world. We were a massive part of that. And this show that we were at in Egypt, in Sharm el-Sheikh, this is as much of a big deal. Why? Because it was the collaboration of Egypt and African nations within the continent of Africa. And ONPASSIVE was front and center and a huge part of everything that was going on there. Africa is going to be the largest uptake of new technology in the planet. Why? Because they are coming online by the millions. Now, with Elon Musk doing his thing as far as satellite internet is concerned, connectivity is becoming much more accessible for so many people in places that landlines and mobile phone technology can't get to through satellite, and obviously through Skylink. A lot more people can do that, and Elon Musk is actually subsidizing many of the African nations so that people can get online. This obviously brings them in line with being able to use the internet for not only pleasurable circumstances but also business as well. The whole reason to have this conference in Sharm el-Sheikh is to bring as many of the African nations together to collaborate to move their businesses and their countries forward as far as technology is concerned. ONPASSIVE are going to help them do that. There is billions of people from the African continent. They are keen to embrace the technologies that many of us see right now. ONPASSIVE are going to help them do that. This is why the collaborations we made in Sharm el-Sheikh with the countries, we already knew that there was two ladies that were there, which were the heads of the countries or the partners of the heads of the countries that were representing these countries. They were there to see what was on offer. So it really is a big deal, guys. That went on till the Friday. So we saw Ash on the Wednesday, and Thursday we saw him again. He did a very last minute webinar. If you remember, it was for the UK. It was quite late into the evening, I think around about 11 p.m. For you guys it was late afternoon, and he came on to give us even more details about what was coming our way and how things were progressing. He said that the payment processors will be coming online very shortly, which they did shortly after he did the webinar on Thursday night and into Friday morning. He did say at the time, and obviously a lot of people chose not to listen to what he was saying on that webinar about how to pay for OConnect. He specifically said that multiple payments can't be done and to wait at least 60 minutes between using the same card for each payment. I have zero idea why people do not listen to instructions, and obviously many people went ahead and they went crazy trying to pay for as many of their accounts as possible, and it caused a massive headache for Mr. Mufareh. This is why he's had to slow it all down, to go to a more manual basis on it, to ensure that mistakes aren't being made. He told us about that. He said this will obviously move forward to unlimited, and you'll be able to do it every 5 minutes or so, but he said please restrict it to 60 minutes, and obviously people didn't listen to that part, did they? He said so they're updating the process now into Rocket Fuel, which is the cryptocurrency part of ONPASSIVE, and then OConnect he talked about was being worked on in the background. We've seen that today as well, that they're upgrading it and adding new things. He also talked about some of the new things that were coming online. He said we're good to go with OConnect. There has been a few challenges of recent, but they have that under control. He is still on track, guys, for what he was talking about as far as OConnect and making it go viral by the end of November. That's still on track. And obviously the work that they're doing at the moment in the background on OConnect is ensuring that's going to be happening. He said the whole of the OConnect platform is about to be revamped, and I believe this is what they're working on right at the moment. He then moved on to OTracker, OVerify and other products. These are going to be following on closely behind this next part of OConnect. He said also that businesses that want to use the service of OVerify as a B2B, which is a business-to-business sector, this will be a paid product that you guys will be able to sell to businesses and obviously earn commissions. And I also believe as well other bonuses involved with that as well, and details of this will come a little bit later. OCreate, he said, will be ready by early 2024. That's mainly due to the amount of data that it uses, and obviously we know that we are working hard at the moment to bring our own data centers online. OPost, ODesk, OStaff, these are more business related services, and obviously these will be part of an enterprise package, he said, with a little piece of ONPASSIVE involved with it as well. OCounting is progressing well, he said, and will be a great, beautiful, big tool as well that we can use within the arsenal of products and services that ONPASSIVE really have. So we've got a very exciting time coming our way at the moment. He then talked a little bit about how bulk payments are going to be working. Also, the restrictions may be lifted on the maximum amount of withdrawals. And then he mentioned once again about the ash bomb, which he brought to our attention on the Wednesday on 360. He said that's still to come. So let's wait and see what that is all coming our way as well. Friday we saw the new payments coming online, and if you are in other countries around the globe, you'll notice as well that it was a couple of extra payment options as well within the processor that we're using. Things were going very well for a short period of time, but because of people not adhering to what we were asking them to do, the company had to slow it right down to make sure that things were done in a timely manner, and that's exactly what they've done, and that's exactly where we're at the moment, with the company verifying manually the people that are trying to pay. So be patient. If it doesn't work right now, have another go. Not straight away, leave it an hour or so and have another go. It may be frustrating, guys, but I can assure you that your payment will go through eventually. Also, guys, what else happened over the weekend? Marty and Chris were keeping you up to date with what was happening on the background, with what our CEO Ash Mufareh was saying as well. We also got a couple of messages through Twitter as well from our CMO Mohammed Nassal, if you remember as well. And there's also other bits and pieces going on in Dubai. If you are on Twitter, he was bringing us up to date with those. Monday came around, beautiful new website. If you haven't had a look at that, go over there. I'm loving the overlays on that as well. If you notice when you're scrolling, It scrolls up behind what's inside. Again, very geared towards businesses, which is fantastic. I really believe at this stage within ONPASSIVE's journey, gearing everything towards the business fraternity is exactly the correct way of going, because if businesses are involved, it certainly gives much bigger credentials to a company because the amount of businesses are using it. Tuesday was here, and to be honest, I didn't get much chance to find out what was going on Tuesday. I was all hands on deck, literally, and I didn't get to see what going, but I'm sure that Marty and Chris were keeping very good care of you whilst we were making our way back to terra firma and to the UK. And here we are once again on ONPASSIVE 360, and as the ticker is saying down below there, our CEO will try and come on within another 15 minutes or so. Anyway, that's it for me. Back to you, Chris.
That means you got to listen to us talk for 15 more minutes at least. Yep, you've seen the ticker, what it says. You don't have to keep texting me. Read the ticker, please. Well, it's nice to see that you made it home safe, Red, and I'm not going up and down with you right now. I was the last couple of days. Marty, always good to see you, my brother, because I see you every 5 minutes of the day. I still don't get sick of you, but you know how it works. I want to do 2 shout-outs today for some birthdays, some special people, which one is Nancy. Well, if I say her name wrong, you guys all know Nancy from P&G, Nancy Youngavi. Happy birthday to you. And Melvin Hicks, which is Joyce Hicks' husband. Happy birthday to you, which I know that you're Marty's biggest fan, and so does Ash. Wow. The amount of calls I'm getting right now, believe it or not, I can't answer that, are lots of questions, guys. I really think if you just would pay attention to what's going on in our lives, and I'm not saying you have to, we've given and said many things this week about what's going on, what to do. Don't overwhelm support because you cannot pay. It's a slow procedure right now due to the fact that we overwhelmed anybody. Nah, we're just saying ask to do something. And of course, we're so excited to get OConnect that we forget about the rules sometimes, but it's okay. He'll take care of it. He'll figure it out. You know, I often think about, I drove I-75 for years back and forth to work. 2 hours there, 2 hours back. Sometimes longer because of construction. I remember seeing a lot of buildings, a lot of freeways, a lot of construction barrels, and I kept saying, oh my God, I can't wait. I can't wait till this construction's over. And I'll be honest with you. They replaced the freeway in Michigan 3 times, a long stretch where it took me through. I had to basically go to a back to get to my job. And I thought, oh, this is horrible. At that moment, I was just mad because it's taken me so long to get here. And then I hit a pothole, Michigan pothole, and blew my rim, blew my tire. And then it was a wake-up. God was waking me up saying, hey, this is why they're fixing the roads, dummy. This is why. After probably 5 years of major construction on the freeway, I remember the first time driving to work. It only took me 45 minutes. The road was smooth, and I completely forgot about all the nightmares, 2, 3, 4 years of driving, of trying to get home and to work. And I'm not going to lie, it sucked. But I really did. That first day, it was like I could breathe easier. I wasn't worried about if I was going to make it to work on time because it didn't matter if I left 2 hours early or 3 hours early. Something always happened. An accident, you never know. But once it was done and completed, I remember the first day it took me 45 minutes to get to work, and I showed up 2 hours early. All right? Coming home, because I knew it now, I took my time, 45, 50 minutes, and I forgot about all those years of not looking. I'm saying 5 years. The guy below me or on the side of me has been in this for 5 years. Marty, almost 5 years in a few days or something, right? Now, they've driven that freeway with the potholes, all right? They've patiently waited for things to get smooth, potholes filled, and that's exactly what you all need to do. If anything, the foundership should learn about patience. I think ONPASSIVE has all taught us some pretty good patience. If you're not a patient person, I ask you to just go cut your grass, because we're all about patience. Why? Because Ask Mufareh wants to do it right. He wants to make sure that once he builds that freeway, no more construction after that. It's smooth sailing. And by the way, did I tell you his direct traffic of that freeway is going to go right to your front door, right into your computer, by the way, where you don't have to drive, you don't have to do anything. Welcome to the world of ONPASSIVE and the ecosystem, where everything is done for you. You don't have to do anything except pay your taxes and share out a couple posts if you want. But I say that religiously. This is one of the big reasons that I got into ONPASSIVE, because I spent 32 years working for the man. Working for the man that didn't care if I was breathing, bleeding, sick. All I know is if I didn't show up for work, I was just a bad person. So I went to work every single day. I really think that man and woman, I had a bunch of bosses, they didn't care. They didn't care. I could be replaced like that. When I came into ONPASSIVE, it felt good that someone cared about me, my family. And then I was joined by another 1,400,000 people that he cares for. He doesn't even, actually, he knows a lot of you, but technically he hasn't met any of you, but a few people, but he still goes out every day working because he wants your dreams to come true. All right. He doesn't preach hate. He doesn't knock other companies. He talks about ONPASSIVE to keep us on the right path. This is what ONPASSIVE is going to do. I don't care what anyone else is doing. This is what ONPASSIVE is doing. He is breaking records. He's changing it. Yep. If you've been trying to find ways to make money online for the last 20 years, well, now it's here. Put all the other stuff in your back pocket. Have a garage sale, all those products that you bought to sell, and sell them cheap, because that's the only way you're going to get rid of them. ONPASSIVE is the new way, the only way, the unique way that's going to change your world. Listen, one thing Ask Mufareh has taught me, I can't change everything, but I definitely can change the future of my future and my future's future. I can change. He taught me that it is possible, no matter who you are, no matter how big or small or black or white or yellow or red, whoever you are, you're going to make a change in your family's legacy. All right. I talked about this. I'm going to die someday. God, I hope it's a little longer than now, but I want to leave an obituary that I'm going to write about. I joined something because I believed it. It changed my life. It changed my family's life. And the history, the legacy of Chris Johnson. I don't want to be forgotten. You've seen that new video that goes out. It says when you die, in a matter of weeks, you're really forgotten about. I don't want to be forgotten. I want people to talk about me and my family and ONPASSIVE for as long as they all live. Because I think that's what we're all going to leave. We're going to leave a legacy. Do we got to go through some bumps and maybe wide turns or slower? Maybe there's a construction sign that says, slow down a little bit, guys. You don't want to go too fast. Just let us get this right. We're in this company, guys. You are in the greatest company in the world. The first company in the world that's going to change humanity. Okay? Think about that. The first company in the world that's actually going to change humanity. My personal opinion, when the world finds out about ONPASSIVE and 1,400,000 people of all different races, religions, whatever genders, all got together and said, we want better. We want better. I'm hoping that they forget about all the bad things and start coming to ONPASSIVE and watch what we're going to be doing. I can't wait. Listen, every year something bad happens in this world. We just had a big earthquake in India. We have tsunamis. We have major fires. I can't wait when OBless happens. That's what I'm really, really excited for. And watch ONPASSIVE go in and just help people that need help instantly. No more waiting. No more hearing about things that are rotten in a warehouse. Ask Mufareh proved it to us. Last big earthquake. And what he did. He didn't even think about it. He didn't sleep. He called his team and said, we got to do something. All right? That is going to be a reality for ONPASSIVE. And you're going to get to be part of that. I love that part of it. So I'm just letting you know that you opened the door when you signed up for ONPASSIVE. You walked into the greatest ecosystem in the world. It will change your life. You will talk about the journey. You'll be remembered for the journey. And I'm pretty proud of that. So, all right, Marty, back to you.
Chris, Marty, before you start, Jane's saying she can't look at the background because it's reminding her.
I was going to say that. It's waving.
Like, she's starting to go like this.
Too funny. Go ahead,
tell Jane I'm going to change it just for her. Hold on 1 second.
I was going to do the... Looks like you're still on that boat, Red.
I don't know if that's good or not. Or
that's what they look like once the waves hit. They were pale.
Is this okay? Is this one okay?
Actually, Chris, ironically, we were getting literally tossed around in this boat, you know, with 45 feet waves. They were coming up to deck 5 up the windows, and people were literally sliding from one side to the other on the floor. It was amazing. It's amazing. She said that's fine, by the way. It's amazing how many people were not sick. When it was just a little bit choppy, there was people being sick. But when it was like a big dipper, nobody was being sick.
Because their fears were setting in.
I was going to say, probably adrenaline has taken over, and you know, other thoughts that they had, but nobody was being sick, which was quite bizarre. So I've certainly now got my sea legs, that's for sure. I felt like sometimes I felt like I was in the Matrix walking down corridors. You're walking down a corridor like that at this angle just to keep still. Ever so strange. Back to you, Marty.
I'm sorry that people went through it, but I feel really bad, especially the older people, you know. They have enough trouble walking on flat ground, much less, you know. I mean,
it was very unfortunate. There was close to 1,000 passengers, and the average age of the passengers was 76 years old.
Wow.
So that gives you a very good idea. Jane and I obviously reduced that average age by a massive chunk, and if we weren't there, we'd probably be in about 77, 78.
You're right. You're right.
But anyway, that's what the average age was. So there was a lot of precious cargo involved there, and this is really why so many of those passengers are very angry at the company for them putting that ship in the position it was held at. It could have been changed. They knew about it 2 days beforehand. So anyway, that's going to be a completely different ongoing saga, as they say.
Speaking of precious cargo, I want to do another shout out for Tanya ONPASSIVE. She's very appreciative for all the love and the well wishes. She has keep praying for me. She's going through some things right now. But she just appreciates. She feels the love from all of you. She says thank you from the bottom of her heart.
She is one of those people that we all know.
And they're missing now. They're missing her now.
No, she's behind the scenes, but she is a workhorse. I mean, she does a lot, and she knows a lot. I see her answer to people spot on, perfect. She does a great job, no doubt about it.
Absolutely.
Thank you for we have 2,100 people on right now, which is pretty good. It was a fairly quick notice because we had to switch over to YouTube. What was I going to say? Hold on 1 second. Anyway, I thought I heard a beep.
You know what? I got something to say, Marty. Someone put out a bad post about 3 days ago saying that Ash Mufareh was going to be on the OMinnow show. I'm here to tell you that's not true. I'm not sure why people do that. If you don't hear it from us, it's not happening. Now, who's to say Ash doesn't show? But I guarantee you right now, as busy he is, he won't be showing up on the OMinnow show. I just want to let people know the last 2 nights, we've had a ton of people just show up, and we play trivia. Y'all know that. And like, look at all these people, where they come from. We found that post. So please don't put out a post you don't know nothing here. Let's 2 things. The traffic has not started yet. And Ash Mufareh is not showing up on the OMinnow show. And if he does, that's great, but I doubt it. I think that's it. I keep forgetting. Marty, go back to you.
Anyway, the other thing I wanted to say that Chris was saying that is we have a tendency to focus on things we have no control over. I don't want to control ONPASSIVE. Why? I can't. I don't want you as a founder to control ONPASSIVE. Why? Because you can't. It's this whole thing came from a dream and a plan from Mr. Mufareh. They know what they're doing. They have it under control. Because we don't know, and we think, oh, I get people give it, maybe he should do this. Listen, thank you, but you know what you should concentrate on? Let's concentrate on us. Let's concentrate on what we could do. I look back and I remember the last 4 years, something like, you're going to pay twice. First one's founder, second one, somewhere between $200 and $300, something like that. That's the only time that Ash didn't tell the truth. In fact, he gave it back. He gave the founder money back, and we weren't at $200, we're at $143. Are you kidding me? And people said to all of us, I know us three because I heard it, what's the grace period? 2 years ago, 3 years ago. I said, your grace period's now. Save now. Even a dollar a day. In fact, $1 a week. People could have had enough. So that's the point. And then when it gets here, I know most people are paying. I'm so happy over that. But there's a couple people saying stuff like, well, I'm not going to start the engine until I see what happens. I'm sorry, that's the most foolish thing I ever heard. The company gives you a Bugatti. I don't know if you know anything about it, but a cheap one is $1 million. 10,000 freaking horsepower, a track where you can go 400 miles an hour, and you're not going to start the car. It's full of fuel. It's a brand new engine, brand new car, brand new track. I don't know if I'm going to start the engine. Okay, then take your car off the track. Do what you want to do. I'm not going to talk people into it, but my God, why would you not? If you can, why would you not? And by the way, try to pay, but go by what they tell you. Ash is not in the middle of this right now going to go, okay, you got 3 days. Come on. He's not going to do that. And people say, yeah, you don't know, he didn't say it. He's asked Mufareh. I know he's not going to do it. Everything he does is looking out for ONPASSIVE. Everything. I've even brought up stuff. Yeah, but can most people do that? No, maybe not. Then we can't do it. He built it for everyone. The highest technology at the most simple way to run. That's simple. Really, he did. One click wonder. Boom, you're here. Boom, you're there. Boom, you're there. Everything's all together. It was done on purpose. It was done so that the 97, 98, 99% that got blasted and beat up for the last 30 years or whatever online get to be a winner and a hero. He has given you the cape. He's given you the suit. And all you got to do is put it on and fly. It's an automatic flying suit. Put it on. I don't know if I want to be a superhero. Well, that's ridiculous. Yes, you do. I don't care who you are and how old you are. And it's possible. Yeah, but I don't know what I got to... Don't tell me that you don't have hopes and dreams when you were a kid or younger. Dig them up. They're there. They're there. The fence around you now, you built. Society built this thing. It got smaller and smaller the older we got. And we say, well, I don't belong there. I don't belong there. I'm going to stay right where I am until I die. Bull crap. That's a bunch of crap. It was built for all of us to expand and go wherever we want. That fence is down. What you're seeing is an imaginary wall. Go. Do whatever you want to do. You can, listen, if I were you, I would start a club of something you love. Right now. Yeah, but I don't understand. You have a club that's about something you love. Don't you think there's millions of people in the world that might like what you like? Right? That they might like what you like? And, well, start now and you'll be the foundation of that type of club or that interest for somebody else. What?
Ash will be here shortly. He's wrapping up that meeting and he'll be on shortly. He said, Marty, don't run out of air. Keep going.
He did not.
I bet he did.
He's got to add that little bit at the end. No, but it's stuff that and you know, people say, oh, we have to keep repeating the same thing. Yes, that's human nature. If we didn't repeat the same thing, how many times would you need to go to church? How many times would you need to go to school? You learn about Columbus, you don't need to hear it again the next year and the year after that and the year after that. Why do we hear the same things over and over? Because that's how we operate. Bible was made 2,000 years ago. It's never changed. You go on church 4 or 5 times. You go from 5 to your 20. There's no reason to go again. You can't learn anything else. That's not true. Why do chefs go back again and learn new things and do new things and try new things? Because what happens is you listen to things, but you're not hearing them. Or you're hearing them and don't listen. It's human instinct. I've heard the same thing from somebody. I go to a new teacher who's a storyteller type, and I go, wow, I didn't know that. Well, that's a bunch of crap. I've heard that same thing 500 times in other grades, but something that day, I was in the mood, I was poised to listen. That happens in ONPASSIVE. We said stuff, this is no joke, this is kind of funny. We said stuff on a live, we get off, and I'm beating Chris in pool, and he goes like this, yeah, and he says to me, somebody just asked me, boom, boom, boom. It's the exact same thing we just covered. Sometimes you even ask him, were you on the live? Yeah. So that's why. That's why we go over stuff over and over and over. And by the way, when you assume that somebody with you knows what you're talking about, you're probably wrong. Take the time, go back again, and make sure they understand. Because you know what some people do? You know what I mean? Yeah. Yeah, means no, I don't have a clue. They won't say it, no, because they got this pride thing. Do you know what I mean? Yeah. No, they don't. Maybe they don't. Walk them through it. If you got somebody independently, go to a Zoom and walk them through it. Because I've heard people give me a story about something, and guess what? Their terminology's not right. So the problem they think they have, it's not what the problem that I'm thinking that what they're telling me. So when you go and put, oh, no, that's not that. That's called this, and here's what you do. Oh, okay. No wonder why nobody's listening. You got to take that time. And picture support now. All over the world sending stuff in. Hey, I can't pay. That's it. I mean, that's it. And you say, how do you know? Hundreds of emails, and I get some like that. Hey, is there something wrong with so-and-so? Because it doesn't look right. See if you can help me. Yeah, hold on. Let me figure out what you're talking about. Nobody has a crystal ball, okay? You got to explain what you're talking about so that we all know. And I know there's people out there. And what really bothered me, Julie Pierre told me that she was an orphan in this business. That happened to a lot of people, so we need to reach out and be our brother's keeper. What I mean by that is there are really good founders out there that the person that invited them disappeared. So we need to take the time to find them, give them a helping hand because they don't know where to go. And sometimes they invited people in, so now you got a small group of people that just feel left behind. Once you get them plugged in, some of them, I'm still to this day, after a year and a half of shutting down the founder position, meeting people that are diamonds in the rough. I mean, unbelievable. Every day. And we should all be kind of harvesting, going through the weeds to find out, was somebody left out there in the forest? And it is happening. Some people were sprinters. I'm telling you, me and Red and Chris, if I took the time, I could read on 30 or 40 people that they were gung ho, they're ONPASSIVE, I'm going to run this till the end, but I can't find them. They are missing in action because their mouth said one thing, but their heart wasn't there. I knew something was different about this company, and the beauty of it, it got better. So no matter what happened, I'm not worried about what they're doing. I am more concerned with how people react to what they see. And that's what we're here for, to try to help calm it down and refocus on something that you can control. Because while they're worried about how Ash is going to do banking, like I know anything about that, how about if you go back and help the 3 people that you invited because they really don't know what they're doing? Go back and take the time. Or at least direct people. Tell people, hey, Red does a live every day at 11 o'clock. Just go listen. If you've got questions, and I'm going to say this again, the best webinar that I've been to, and I'm not saying they are the best, but for me, Heroes on Sunday. If you go there, they will answer every question you have. There is no hour. They go until it's done. And if they don't know, they got the magical words. It's magical. You ready? I'm not sure. I believe it's this. There's no lying. There's no hyping. They try to answer 100%. Or they'll say, wait, we will know. And that's another one everybody needs to know. If you don't know, I don't know, Chris or Red doesn't know 100%, we're not going to worry about it. Why? Because when we need to know, the company will take us by the hand and say, okay, this is what this means. Perfect. Perfect. I believe that 100%. I'm going to turn it over to Red because
you've been talking for ages.
Yeah,
Lord, man, where'd you get all that air from?
I know it's great, but actually you did strike a chord with me and actually got my brain going a little bit about you mentioned founders. Now, a lot of people have forgotten themselves as founders, and what I mean by that is how important that position is. Now, we all became founders because of our belief in Ash Mufareh, belief in the project of what we were trying to achieve as a company. And obviously this has expanded over so much over the 5 years that I've been involved in, and many others here exactly the same, to a point now where it's almost too big to actually think how big it is. You know, when it's all growing, you're part of it, and you know, you're in touch with everything that's going, but certainly at the moment it's almost another step, isn't it? You know, these big corporate events that they're going to, Burj Khalifa, the biggest tech show in the planet over in Sharm el Sheikh, what they're doing with Supercars Majlis, all of these things, it's starting to get to another level, isn't it? A bigger level than when we were all just founders. You know, we're past that now. We're into businesses, we're into collaborations, we're into all sorts of other things. But here's the thing, and this is what I wanted to circle round back to, as far as you, if you are a founder here. There might be many affiliates on here, there might be many just users on here. But if you are a founder right here on this live that we're doing now, waiting for our CEO Ash Mufareh to come on, you are the luckiest person in the whole world. Why? Because he understands and he realizes that everything would not be here as a company unless it was you guys, unless you were the founder, the ones that helped found this company, the ones that helped move this company forward, the ones that have the belief, and the ones that saw the vision of what he was trying to do and to achieve. Yes, it might have gone further on now that we have no idea what's happening behind the background, but we still have that faith and belief in what the company is trying to do. Do you not think that our CEO understands how important we as founders are? Number one, what has he told us that he is going to do? Every single user that comes into ONPASSIVE is going where? Under a founder. That's how committed he is to make sure that if you're a founder in this company, you are going to be the first to succeed in this business, because everybody else has to come in underneath you as a founder. Once that person's underneath you and they go off and they want to sell products, it's all part of your organization, and you will be rewarded in the future for that team volume. This is what makes me laugh when people say, I've got no one in my team. how am I going to succeed in ONPASSIVE? Why? Because if you follow the steps that you need to start your car, as Marty said, on that racetrack, put your foot on the gas and zoom off, the company are going to make sure that you succeed. Why? Because you're a founder, because people are going to be placed into your organization, and you will stand the best chance above any other affiliate in the company. Is a lot to do with your own efforts? Of course it is. That's how business works. If somebody is selling more items than you are, they're going to make more commissions. Simple as that. But it doesn't mean to say that it's not possible for you. And that is also another beauty about this business, is it's not typical. It's not normal. It's completely open for anybody and everybody to succeed in it. The success level is guaranteed because the company will make sure you succeed. But to what level you succeed is largely up to yourself. Where do you want to be? Can you visualize, imagine where you want yourself, your family, and people around you to be in life, financially and also with time freedom? That's up to you. The company are going to help you. Of course they are. They're going to market for you. They're going to advertise for you. They're going to even put people within your organization. But if you want to get to a higher level of where you want your business to go, then you have to do a little bit of as well. And the ones that are doing something, you guys are rocking it. You guys are going to be the big winners in this business because you understand how it works. You understand by utilizing the products, by utilizing what is there available for you, you can really make a big impact for yourself and your family. And that's what it's all about. Being a founder, utilizing the products and services, you are going to be rewarded. Thought I'd bring that into the equation. Chris, you've got to have something to say.
I do. Hey, another little cleanup note. I noticed I've been sneaking into some webinars or watching some webinar titles. Remember this, to always just keep it on passive. Don't sway from that. Keep it on the topic of passive. You can talk about products, things to come, things from the past, but make sure you keep it on passive. And like I said, what would you be doing right now? Let me just stop for a second. Everyone, I want you just to think right now. If you had all the time and all the freedom, beside being on this lovely webinar right now, what would you be doing? What would you be doing? Just think about that. A lot of us have not stopped and thought about, man, what would I really do if I had all this time and all this freedom? You know what I'm going to tell you? You better start practicing. Start practicing. I don't want people falling out of, I don't want people looking like they're on Red's boat, falling out of chairs. I want you to be ready for the shock. Because I'm going to be honest with you. You're going to be in shock and awe. Like, oh my God, this is really happening. Yeah, this is really happening. And it's been happening. And this guy's been working on it for a long time. I want you to think back at the history. Me, 3 years, a little over 3 years. All the webinars we did. All the people we met. Man, I got some of my best friends in the world now through ONPASSIVE. And I love the fact that this journey, I got to be with them. And this thing that we're going to keep going on, this endless, unstoppable road, we're going to do it together. And it doesn't matter what direction I go, north, south, east, west, I'm going to run into a founder. I'm going to run into someone and say, aren't you that guy on ONPASSIVE? Hey, I seen you. That's what's going to happen. Be ready for it. It's not just going to be me, Marty, and Red. If you're out there talking about ONPASSIVE, if you're making posts, if you're doing, like David Switzer does live, Sherry Dershowitz, listen, they're
If we lost Chris, Marty? He's all frozen.
Is he frozen?
He's frozen.
Look at that face, guys.
I know.
Looks like a carp. And
Looks like he's about to sneeze.
yeah. I wish I had a marker right now, you know?
Ah, that's it. He's dropped. We've lost him.
He's dropped.
Never mind.
Anyway, Ask should be here any minute. He's wrapping up a... Hold on one second. He's wrapping up a meeting, so he should be here, he said, any minute. By then, I guess Chris will be back. I don't know what happened to him. He loses the internet at least 2 or 3 times a day. I don't know what the heck's going on there. Anyway, tonight at 7:30, I'm supposed to be on with a wonderful lady called Julie Pierre. She has a little webinar, and I told her I would go. And then we have been doing trivia at night at 9:30. Whew. And the men are getting smarter, finally. So
That's probably because more are turning up.
Yeah, we're doing a little better. Chris got 5 in a row, Red.
No, get out of town.
I promise.
What was it? The 5 first letters of the alphabet?
Well, something like that, or you know, the far side, or you know, Dr. Seuss questions. I don't know, but he did it. No, I'm just kidding.
Hey, listen, we've got to take fun out of him because he's not here.
No, exactly. I mean, I do it in front of him, so I definitely don't feel bad about doing it behind his back. I don't know. Let me see if he's saying text to me, because he just went
He did go off very quickly.
very quickly. Let me.
Yeah, so hang around, guys. Don't slide off. Our CO is coming on. So make sure that you go and tell a few people that he is coming. And
Hold on, he's writing me.
so somebody sent me a WhatsApp, an email with Chris in freeze mode,
I see it.
which is pretty cool.
Yeah, me too.
So I'll be sending that to Timmy Johnson to obviously use.
Oh, he said he's coming back.
Okay, cool.
So, anyway. Another thing we could talk about is, remember, I was told last night by someone, you know, they can't get the trim URL to work. It does work. Listen, when you're making a trim URL custom, at the end it has a yes or no question. If you say yes, that means you want to send it as a kind of an opt-in, okay? So you're getting permission for them to open the email. So if you put no, you don't have to worry about that. If you're sending, listen, I wouldn't send anything to somebody you don't know. I mean, you could go ahead and try that. They're not going to open it. They don't know who you are. People are so scared now of getting hacked. So just put no if you know them, and then send it, and they can open it right up. But it works. I made a video that explains how to make one. Very simple, like simple. It's in that page that I made. Go look for it, and it's there. So try it. The other thing is, I know a lot of people are nervous about crypto. Let me tell you something. One thing you can do, which I did, is I withdraw using crypto, and I paid using the card because the withdrawal was nice. I liked it. Okay, and like I said, it's also simple if you follow the rules. You just got to make sure the address you put in is 100% correct. Anyway, just a thought. Don't be nervous, because it's not a bad thing. It's actually a good thing. Absolutely love it. And I got a video on that too, if you want it. So I'm going to turn it back over to somebody, whoever. Chris, give us your horror story where you just went and why you left.
I have no internet, so I'm running up my hotspot. And I have people that keep trying to call my phone when they could be just listening to us on Passive 360, and it cut off my hotspot. So if I get cut off again, I can get back on. And I don't know what I was saying. I was just saying be excited. I can't explain my excitement. All I can do is tell you how I feel, and I feel pretty damn good after 57 years of life. And I can't wait for the next 57 years, because I think the first 57 years was nothing but work and working for the man or the woman. And I can't wait to be free, live, and nonstop. And I don't want anyone to get in my way when it comes to enjoyment or that crazy dog. And I'm going to grab a lot of people along the way and change their lives. I really believe that. So, and my dog is absolutely crazy. Red, you want to take this for 5 seconds?
I certainly can, Chris. Obviously, he knows that you're live again. We have a dog that does exactly the same. After talking of Chris, now that he's back on, and we've pretty much run out of talking about him behind his back, so we're glad that he's back on here. But there's going to be some very excited people in the United States in a couple of weeks when he starts his tour. Hang on, Marty, just mute yourself a minute, mate, please.
Yep, sorry.
Right. Thank you very much. So he's starting a bit of a road trip in his new van, which looks amazing, by the way, if you've not seen the pictures of it. It's something that he's been organising for a very long time and customising behind the scenes, and he got to pick it up last week. It's going in, I think, tomorrow. Just had a few tweaks and the other bits, and I think talking to him, he's looking at maybe setting off in a couple of weeks. So as he was saying, you know, his passion is to visit and to meet founders. I was doing it whenever I go away. I always make sure that people know where I am, and if they want to meet up with me, they can do, and it's really good to see founders. Whilst I was away, I met up with a couple, Marco and Jarmo, one in Madeira, which is a beautiful place, by the way, guys. If you ever get a chance, go to Madeira. And obviously the other one was in Lanzarote, or was it Tenerife? Tenerife, I saw Jarmo, that was it. Again, great to see the founders about as well, and it really does cement what you are thinking of people, because not only do you see them live in front of a screen, you actually get to hug them, you get to shake their hands, and in Ash Mufareh's case, you get to smell them as well. And it is really good to meet them, and I would encourage as many founders out there and affiliates and users that are part of ONPASSIVE now to meet up with other fellow ONPassivians. It really does help keep a very strong bond, which we have in ONPASSIVE. So without further ado, I'm going to hand it straight over to our CEO, Ash Mufareh.
Thank you, Red. I hope all is well, and I hope everybody's having a fantastic day so far. I am sorry I didn't catch anything you said before, so I might be off topic, but I can always take it to where you want to take it. Go with the flow. So if one thing I would like to convey today is one small update, and that is a question. In order to, if you've been following us, and here and there, we have an ambition to reorganize and remake the entire ecosystem, the digital ecosystem. We say own the internet in our own words. To do that, it requires a few achievements and major pillars. I would like to ask you, what are those major pillars in order to own the internet? Number one,
have your own control of data within your own company.
Okay, that's one thing. All right. Doesn't sound promising that we're going to get through all of them. Okay, but number two, I said them last time.
Yeah, be in control of your own, be in control of your own payments and gateways. And the other last one is for the hosting as far as domain names is concerned. I was listening.
Partially, that's right. So one thing is you've got to have a single sign-on to have the entire arsenal of digital applications in one place. We call it ONPASSIVE ecosystem, OES, with a single sign-on. That is one thing which is happening. That's a done deal. We have multiple things. As Red also said, to have control of your own payment processor and monetizing the money and have the ability to mobilize it between, to pay in, to pay out with no restriction, etc. That's the whole thing. That requires approval by Visa, MasterCard, and central banks, and lots of regulations in it. So those are two things. And the third one is having your own data center and full control of hosting everything. But like also Red said, the data and domain registrar ability. So, and O verification or O verify or the KYC ability to have full control without having to rely on anything. So you have the tools, you build them organically in-house, you have the ability to control the data by hosting them and O verify and have full control of the domain registration and build people business and identity and data rather than building your own and expanding your own. That sounds like the simplest concept I've ever seen in my life. Yet, if you do it, you own the internet. And I can tell you this: we have some progress on not some progress. I'm going to take that back. We have a major breakthrough in terms of the money control to pay in and to pay out. And I'm talking about pay out in bulk by crypto and fiat money. That's going to be a game changer too. So we are on track to have everything done. Only by the end of the year, everything will be pretty much available to you, with one pending item that will roll over to 2024. The first part, we're hopeful that it will be done, which is the data center. So that's the only thing I would like to kind of like give you update on a feel where it's not an easy thing, but we are confident that things are already in hand. And before today, I wouldn't tell you, or I couldn't say that everything is a done deal this year, with the exception, the process of the hardware and the data center that will take a few months. We will carry on to 2024, but eventually we are going to own it. And that's it. So we are on track to revolutionize this concept of the internet with AI, and I believe the first part of 24, by the time we open the data center, we have lined up 3 other locations to announce. Yeah, we are expanding. We have new locations. We're working on the preparation, all of that. We're not gonna disclose addresses and details until we have everything is full staffed and furnished and everything. So we have this time is not going to be one at a time. It's going to be probably a bunch in one shot. So we are beyond busy. The word busy is little. Friday was the last day of the event in Sharm el-Sheikh, and that was another major accomplishment where we have so many contacts, and it opened the doors for more things and more projects and more ideas, more connections that we wanted to do. And some of our executives are still traveling abroad to finalize a few deals here and there. So we got a lot of work in our hands, and I'm jealous and I envy you for not having to go through this. You're talking about Madeira and visiting and hugging and sniffing, and we're talking about hellfire here, but in a good way. So back to you. Anything else, Red? That's what I wanted to really give you, that incredible progress, specifically today, that we have, basically concluded everything, and everything is in hand, on track. I don't want to say the dates, but safely before the end of the year, everything will be done. We will be working on the last item from what I mentioned, and that's when we say ONPASSIVE is the new internet, and we own the internet. That's it.
Wow. Where's the wow resound, Marty? Thank you so much, Ash, for coming on to give us that update. Really appreciate it. I know you're such a busy man at the moment, especially behind the scenes. And as you were talking about the event in Sharm el-Sheikh, we went over that earlier on before you came on, about how important it is to make collaborations, especially with such continent as Africa. It really is the new emerging place on the planet at the moment because of the internet connectivity. More and more countries are literally coming online, and to be able to tap into the people of these countries through the collaboration of Egypt and the African conference that was held in Sharm el-Sheikh really is an amazing feat for ONPASSIVE to be there right at the beginning of this expanding market. I'm sure great things are going to come out of it in the future. And as you said, many of our...
They already did, actually. Read yesterday, one of the major institutions came to our office in Dubai, to be specific, and they were impressed about a couple of products so far. They're interested in OTracker and OConnect. And interestingly, they had a cross-reference, so they did a session with Zoom, and they finished that, and then they did another run drive with OConnect, and they said this is more features, super simple, and they were blown away with two things that are undescribable, which is the first one, the quality, the resolution of the video, and secondly is the many features that give them how fun it is. So they really got hooked from the first test, and they already made a decision on the spot that they're also transferring to OConnect immediately.
Well, as they say, things speak 1,000, don't they? When they see it themselves. And I think this is why the best part of OConnect is to invite somebody to use it. And once they use it or see it for the first time, they're going to be hooked. And as you've rightly said, it's so addictive. And that's the beauty about it, is it's not just a video conferencing platform, is it? It's much more than just speaking to somebody who's the other side of the screen. It's interaction. You can use the features to really get a feel for what you're trying to achieve within the meeting you're having, whether it's low key, fun, or whether it's more serious, you can use all of those features of OConnect to really streamline it into exactly what you're after. With all the other video conferencing platforms at the moment out there, you don't have that versatility because it's not there. With OConnect, and people see this when they use it, they can make what they want of it, and then bang in all the features of shareability, call to actions, being able to drop in file sharing, and etc. I mean, how can anybody not be blown away by it?
Yeah.
And it's not even, complete. So
Well,
it will get better.
you know what, Ash? You're right. It's going to get better because we know, you see us three all the time. I thought, I'm going to have to bring someone that really makes him smile.
Yeah, now we're talking. Now we're talking.
Some alien just picked me up and threw me into this restream, and I said, okay, they need a lady on the screen.
Thank you.
And I know Marty Jordan is one, but
a lady.
The lady.
Yeah.
Surprise!
The lady. Surprise!
Where's all my
Hi,
buttons?
Ash. Hi, Ash. Hey.
Hello.
Ash McRae, how are you?
Great. I love that.
So good. I'm so glad, Red, that you survived your cruise. Hi, Marty. Hi, Chris. Thanks for having me.
How's Mom now, Red?
Yeah, how's your mom?
Yeah, she's all right. In fact, she was in floods of tears when we came off the cruise because it really did emotionally affect her, like many of them, to be honest, because of the age group. And she witnessed something pretty horrific while she was on there, which I won't go into details. But she's fine. It's completely put her off going on any other cruise ever, unfortunately.
Did you see you naked? What happened?
Yeah, well, I have to say, if she'd have seen her naked, it would have helped her walk a bit faster. That's for sure.
We had to steer it around. Yeah,
no,
you don't want traumatic.
That would shock anybody, I think.
No, she unfortunately was in the medical centre when the storm hit, and obviously it got swamped with injuries, and she saw some pretty nasty stuff when she was down there. But she's fine, back home, cozied up. My dad was.
Is she afraid to cruise again now?
Yeah, she won't go again now. That's it for. That's it for completely no. And it was very scary for a lot of people, and I'm not using that word lightly, by the way, and I don't particularly want to expand on it, but it's in all the news outlets across the world, I think, at the moment.
Wow.
Of what happened. So the company have got a lot to answer for, that's for sure. So we'll see how it all goes. But thank you for asking, Susie. It's very kind of you. And
which cruise line? Which?
The company are called Saga. They're a UK based. They specialise in no-fly cruises, so it's all out of the UK to transatlantic destinations and around Mediterranean and Azores down the African coast, etc. But you have to be over 50 to be on it. So I just snuck in.
Okay.
But the average age of the cruise that we were on, there was close to 1,000 passengers, and the average age was 76. So that gives you a very good idea.
Saga, what's the S stands for? Seniors?
I don't know actually what it stands for. Actually, I've never looked up what the abbreviation is for Saga, but unfortunately, whatever the abbreviation was, it turned into a saga. So
you're not recommending it for anyone?
Oh no, I would actually. Funnily enough, it's at the top end of the cruise liners. It's not cheap to go on it by any means, but it is the standard is extremely high, and the food on board.
So are you saying you got to be in on passive in order to afford it?
Yes, or have parents like mine. That helps as well.
I didn't know. I thought you're treating them. Okay.
No, they actually treated us because they couldn't go without us. So they heavily subsidised us to go, which was very kind of them, because they physically 86 and 84 couldn't go without us helping them to chaperone. but wonderful cruises, amazing accommodation, and the staff are second to none. And I took a big page out of your book, Ash, whilst I was aboard, and that was every single day I made sure that as many people as I could afford to, I left a little something for as much of the staff every single day as I could, much to why my dad even commenting, why are you doing this every single day? And I said, because it makes me feel good.
Beautiful.
Bravo.
That's what I'm talking about. Thank you. I love it, and I love
It does,
you for doing
honestly.
that.
And it's not about how much you're giving per se, because on cruises, many, especially when it's all inclusive like ours was, and it's a high price you're paying, it's including of the tips and all the gratuities and everything. They don't often get anything, so anything they get, they're really appreciative of, and you should see their faces when they get it. It's priceless, and I mean
I want to
absolutely
see
priceless.
your face too when you give too.
Yeah, but honestly, it is such a nice.
Yeah.
It's such a nice feeling to be able to do it. To be able to do it is number one.
I'm
But
gonna
when
find out all the information and see if I can apply to work on that cruise. Just in case you come back next time, I'll be one of the staff, one of the crew. Yeah.
a lot of Filipinos and a few Indians as well.
I have some Filipinos on me.
Oh, really?
Yeah. I didn't tell you that.
You qualify.
That's it. I'll be
That's it.
tipping you then.
Interview over.
I had some food before. Yeah.
Yeah.
It's in me.
Yeah. What was the name of the boat? Did it have a fun name?
No, it doesn't. It was called Spirit of Discovery, and it's
You
a new
discovered
boat built in
SOS.
2019.
That's scary. SOS.
Oh, SOD.
Oh no, SOS.
Yeah.
Sod.
And then you had to come home and get on another boat. How did that feel?
Do you know something? I loved it because it wasn't going like this.
Oh, cool.
Oh God. I
So,
took
yeah,
my
it was
parents. I took my parents in 2010 on a very short cruise from Florida to the Bahamas. My mom they had cruised a lot before, but they were getting older too, and I was the chaperone, Red. So it's not, it's, you have your hands full.
Yeah, most definitely. And my mum's full time in a wheelchair these days as well. So yeah, there was some testing moments with my mum, especially when we were al fresco outside when we were down in the Canaries, and places were too hot, too windy, too high, too shady, you know. And obviously every time she says that, you've got to get up and move, and you know, when we're off on looking around, you know, but anyway, I listen, I don't mind it. And up until we got told on our 8th day that we were heading straight back to try and get ahead of this storm, we were having a lovely vacation, that's for sure, and making some amazing memories.
Who enjoyed it the most, you or Jane?
Oh, Jane enjoyed it more than I did, actually. And due to the fact that she was dancing the night away many nights.
Wow.
There was a lot. I haven't been on a cruise liner like this before, and they certainly cater for so many people, but they also cater for a lot of single women on this, mainly because a lot of elderly women lose partners, etc., and they make it an extremely safe environment for people to go on. They actually go above and beyond to make sure that they put the single women together, and they have get-togethers every day and all sorts of things for them. And Saga have got a really good name for single passenger cruising. And
the love boat.
Yeah, I think when you're in your 70s and 80s, I think the love boat's not going to be, you know. I think it's
You never
companionship
know.
more than, you never know. But Jane got friendly with quite a few of these ladies and had a great time with them. And luckily, before the storm hit, it really helped them when it did hit, because they knew us and we looked after them and all the rest of it. But she had a great time up until that point.
All right.
She wasn't really dancing. She was just trying to keep her sea legs straight, going back and forth, right?
Well, if that was all she was trying to do, Chris, she looked amazing doing it.
Lucky I wasn't there. You're lucky I wasn't there. Oof.
Oh, Twinkle Toes Johnson.
Wonderful.
So what else is going on, Ash? Are you getting any rest?
So before, when I die, yes. Before you got here, we were talking about some good major breakthrough, not just
Yeah, I heard it. Yeah.
normal progress with the pay in, pay out.
Mm-hmm.
And so I think it's worth to kind of rephrase when we said a couple of weeks ago we're going to do the payout in phases and do the crypto and then clear the past and go to the new. So that might be affected by just doing it all at once. Yeah. So it's aiming in a way that we'll be able to handle all the volume in bulk.
Wonderful. All good news.
On
All
passive.
good news.
Well, thank you. Thanks for sharing that.
Thanks, Ash.
Anything else you're curious to know before I go back?
Just one thing, Ash.
Yeah.
Somebody's actually put in the chat and they've said Ash looks much younger. I'm curious about that.
I think I just applied to work on Saga. Spirit of Discovery.
You got the job already. I already passed your application through, Ash. You're good to go.
No, I heard
Straight in
he's-
as head of department.
He's eating a lot of hard-boiled eggs and barbecue sauce. That's why he looks like that. That's why.
Do you agree with that comment?
Dates.
That's a question. I'm sure a lot of
Dates.
people disagree. So it's kind of you, but I'm worried about your site. Yeah.
Horrible right now.
Well, I thank you guys for having me on. I know you probably have to get going, Ash. It's always good to
Yeah.
see you
They're waiting for me.
and
So thank you.
and the guys. Yeah, we love you.
Chris,
Thanks
what
for
are you doing?
everything.
Actually, as thanks for taking the time. Really.
Yeah.
Where
Thank you.
is Gorsmender? You said I saw everybody
Well,
with a new uniform.
we were going to do a live together.
The Turbinators. Is that Gerst did that?
Did you see that? Did you see that?
I said it to him.
I can't
Oh.
believe you.
Oh,
And he
my
sent it
God.
to me. But what happened? He canceled on you?
No,
No.
he just
It was-
made it. Someone
Oh, it's
made
not.
the turban, then he made everyone else, and then he sent me the Turbinators, and I had to send it to Ash is gonna love it.
It wasn't real.
I think, Chris, you should call your new RV the Turbinator.
The turban. Oh, I like that.
There you go.
Nice.
That's a good one, right?
You nailed it. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, but someone might think it's the wrong.
No, in the back, Chris put Gershing.
Gerst.
I'm Gershing around America.
That's right.
Oh my goodness.
Oh God! Now we're getting
or-
silly.
Oh, Saga.
Oh, Saga.
Oh God! Yeah, I like it. Call it the Turbinator. TT.
The Turbinator. It has got a nice catch ring to it. But see,
Yeah.
someone might get offended, like I'm saying something bad about it. You know?
What do you care, Chris? You offend people every day.
But I do it with humor.
I'm just kidding.
Okay, we got to let Ash go. He's got other things going on. But
Yeah.
I
Thank you.
appreciate
Thank
being
you.
invited, fellas. And Ash, it's always good to see you. We
I'll
love
see you soon. Yeah.
Yes,
you.
and good
I'm
prayers to you and your family and the team. Okay.
Always,
you as well.
always. Thank you.
Thank you
Okay.
so much.
Love you.
I love you too. Bye.
Okay, fellas.
And then there was 4.
And there was 4.
All right, Susie.
Okay.
Dave
Next time next time we'll go on your live. Okay.
That's oh, Marty.
I'm waiting for that invitation.
Wait, Susie, wait. I have to be somewhere tomorrow. And maybe you'd like to fill in for me on Marty's live tomorrow because
Tomorrow and Friday are not good. I apologize. I have commitments, but I could do something over the weekend or next week, early next week. I apologize.
We'll invite
Actually-
you. We'll invite you on.
I can help you, Chris. I'll not do mine, and I'll come on with Marty.
Oh,
beautiful.
is
That
that
helps.
tomorrow?
Yeah, that helps me because I've got some back-to-back stuff to do tomorrow.
All right, well, and it'll be 10 o'clock, so I give you more of a time for you. Okay,
Absolutely,
perfect. I'm glad I know it now. That makes it easy.
and it makes it easier for both of us then because I've got stuff to do.
And think about the publicity we'll getting rid of Chris and adding you. Yeah.
Right, absolutely.
Chris is going to go get that big sign on the back, the Turbinator.
Oh, I saw the pictures, Chris. I love that. I love
Yeah.
that.
In fact, Jane as well. Chris, Jane was saying the full glass front.
That's
on
amazing.
That is
It's
gonna.
amazing.
Oh,
I took my 88-year-old neighbor for a ride yesterday. She loved
Oh, she must have loved it.
it. Yeah, because they camped for years when her husband was alive, and they had like a fifth wheel they pulled around. I
Yeah.
looked at it. We were doing leaves all day. I said, "Come on, let's go take a ride." Where? Well, we're gonna go around the neighborhood. I go, "Doesn't matter where." So she gets in that big old seat, and it's a comfortable seat. Those captain chairs are real nice. And we took off, and it was perfect. She wasn't scared.
Let me shut this down.